Hi, this is Wyatt from CJC. Today I'm going to take you through a process on how to trim for 37s on your Super Duty. This will allow you to fit the 37-inch tall tire on a zero offset wheel while using the 2.5 suspension. Now, this would be also the same trim we would do for a Ford on a 4.5 with 40s. This is the absolute worst scenario you could do with this combination wheel and tire. And we're going to show you the depth on how far we trim back. Now, if you're running a different size tire with a different offset, more than likely you could trim with a more conservative estimate. And then we're just going to use this as a basis so you can judge from there. We also recommend that you use a plus 18 to plus 20 to mount 37s on your Super Duty with this 2.5 system. One of the first things I like to do when I start trimming the Super Duties is I like to remove this plastic piece right here. Now, generically, these are 5.5 millimeter bolts. If you have some factory mud flaps, more than likely they're going to be a 6 or 7 millimeter, but for the most part, they're 5.5 millimeter. Now, after you remove it, be careful when you remove it because there is plastic tangs in there. There are 4 on each one of these pieces. Now, they clip in. As soon as you undo these bolts right here, you can push back this fender liner, depress them with your finger manually, and pull down the plastic trim right here. From there, you're gonna notice there's a little clip right here, and there's a clip right here behind them where the bolt's retained to. From there, I like to cut along the top of the bolt and remove the lower lip of this fender liner this way so it gets rid of the ridge and it can fit flush against the fender wall right here. Another thing, when you're cutting through right here, right along this area, there's a little vein that follows for the actual metal of the truck right here. I like to drill a hole on this side and this side. This allows me to put a zip tie in here to suck back the fender liner so I'm able to trim the metal down here below. These 2 holes I drilled, they're gonna follow this factory metal line that's inside there. It's basically a pinch weld. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill on either side of the pinch weld here, and I'm gonna drill a hole through the inside of the pinch weld so I can fasten it down with a zip tie. After trimming, we're gonna take a can of steel it to all the raw material and paint it. So this way it blends the fender liner perfectly into the background there. All right, so when you start trimming the fender liner here, what always works great is a really sharp razor blade. Be careful, keep your fingers away from this, it is sharp. The other thing too I like to use is when I'm fine tuning it, I like to use a pair of tin snips here. This way I could actually get in there and get to the tight spots a flat disc cannot. So this way it's just literally fine tuning as I go along. As for trimming on the plastic piece, I like to trim along the inside of the plastic piece. There is some falling lines that go straight down and bend off at a 90-degree angle. As I'm cutting this, I like to take little lines and cut slowly but surely. I'll use the torch to heat up the blade to make it melt through the plastic to help me cut it a little easier. As again, be careful, this is still a sharp blade. All right, now that we finished trimming, we've done all that we needed to do to fit a 37-inch tall tire on a zero offset wheel. If you have any questions regarding this or something on your truck, please feel free to call us or comment below.